From Paris to a pause. Jannik Sinner steps back after early Halle lost her a grueling few weeks that culminated in an epic five-set Roland Garros final, a draining title defense in Halle. World number one Jannik Sinner is finally ready to press pause button. The Italian suffered a 3-6, 6-3, 6-4 defeat in the second round in Halle to Alexander Bublik, ending his streak of 8 consecutive ATP finals and falling against the rival from outside the top 20 for the first time since August 2023. The defeat marks a physical toll and a scheduling crossroads. After pushing himself to the limit in Paris against Carlos Alcaraz and quickly transitioning to grass, Jannik now acknowledges the need to step away. The emotional roller coaster of nearly winning his Roland Garros crown and then bowing out early in Halle has left its mark on the three-time major winner. Jannik remains mentally composed despite a heartbreaking loss in Paris. However, he admits his body is signaling the need for rest. With Wimbledon looming, his focus now shifts to recovery and take a short break to recharge, reset, and return at full strength at Wimbledon. For the Italian, the pause may prove just as important as the play. Sinner will remain world number one after Wimbledon, despite the outcome. However, he is eager to advance into his first final in London after missing a chance in the previous years. 12 months ago, Jannik battled against Daniil Medvedev in the quarterfinal ahead of the potential Carlos Alcaraz duel. The Italian did not feel at his best, and yet he left everything on the court. He missed a set point in the third set and fell in the decider to end his campaign. Sinner will try to regain his physical strength and positive vibes ahead of the grass major. No one should question his high hopes, especially if he produced his A game like in Paris. It's time to take a break and recover mentally and physically. I need some time for that, and a short break from tennis will be good for me. I have been fine mentally, but I'm a bit tired physically. Andy Roddick described Halle's grass courts as weird and underlined that he didn't see anything particularly concerning in Jannik Sinner's loss to Alexander Bublik. After making it past Yannick Hanfmann in his first grass match, the world number one suffered a shock defeat in the Halle round of 16 after world number 45 Alexander Bublik handed him a 3-6, 3-6-4 defeat. Since Sinner was playing his first tournament since blowing a 2-set lead and 3 championship points against Carlos Alcaraz in the French Open final, some instantly started arguing that the 24-year-old was still mentally impacted by what happened in Paris 2 weeks ago. On Tennis Channel, Roddick pumped the brakes on such talks. In the American tennis legend's eyes, the Italian tennis star is still one of the top favorites for the Wimbledon, and he has no doubt that the top-ranked ATP player will show up at the championships. Roddick: it's not a shocking loss, and Sinner is only going to get better. It's not his best surface. It's probably his least favorite surface. And in my mind, he's still one of the top 3 favorites to win Wimbledon, along with Alcaraz and Novak, the 2003 U.S. Open winner said on Tennis Channel. I don't know if that changes because Bublik played great for an hour-long stretch. 3 out of 5 sets is a different animal over the course of 2 weeks. It is a different animal, and Sinner's only going to be better. The footing at Wimbledon is just frankly better than it is at Halle, especially on the sides where the shadows kind of, create a little slippery mechanism, for hours at a time. Listen, he's going to want to be better, but I don't think this is a shocking loss. Bublik could be on a short list for top 10 to 15 grass court players if he's on form and engaged. Emma Raducanu acknowledges there is a significant gap between the ATP and WTA prize money, but also adds she is not the one who will comment too much about it. As tennis is evolving, some believe that one of the next steps should be bridging the pay gap between the men's and women's games. At the Grand Slams, it hasn't been an issue for quite some time since all majors have been paying men and women equally since 2007. But when it comes to regular ATP and WTA tournaments, there is still a big difference. For example, Raducanu reached the quarterfinal at the WTA 500 tournament at the Queen's Club last week and netted $38,000. This week, the ATP 500 tournament at Queen's is taking place, and quarterfinalists will go home with $69,000. Raducanu: I prefer not to get involved. There is obviously a big difference, and I'm sure a lot players will kind of say their piece on it, but I just prefer not to get involved, and just whatever the situation is, I'll kind of roll with it. but I'm never really going to take a stand either way, the 2021 US Open champion said. I don't really get involved or kind of stay in the loop with all the board.